Hello world, welcome back to Raise RC. As you can see, we've got another unboxing video for you today. In front of us, we got the RC10 B6.1D team kit from Team Associated. This is the brand new 1/10 scale two-wheel drive electric buggy race kit. I picked it up today from my local hobby store. It retails for $319.99 here in the US. And comes in two versions, basically, the B6.1 and the B6.1D. The 6.1 is for carpet, astroturf, high traction stuff, and the D is for dirt, low traction, medium traction, and indoor clay, pretty much. So yeah, let's take a look at this box. Here it is. Just came out yesterday or today, depending on where you are in the United States, but pretty snazzy looking little graphics. I guess a little bit different body from the B6. So I've owned the B5, the B5M, the B6, and the B6D, so fairly familiar with the last few generations of Team Associated two-wheel drive kits. So as you can see, some new features. They changed the battery strap. It's got machine pistons, which is really nice. Aluminum rear clamping hexes and front axles. That's pretty much the same as before. Rear hubs have large bearings. I'm not sure really much has changed there. One-piece shock bushings. I'm going to check those out. That's interesting. Aluminum C and D arm mounts. I believe the B6 had a plastic D arm mount and an aluminum C mount, so nice to hear that they've changed things a little bit. Aluminum top shaft. I believe that is different as well. And then factory team ball bearing kit. Blah blah blah. New B6 clear body and wing. You need to get some stuff. We will find out what comes in the box in a second. Here in the back, bunch of stuff in different languages. None of it looks like, oh, here we go, caution, da da da, you don't kill yourself with this thing. And there you can see kind of an overview of what that looks like. 28-time Associated champion. Nothing here on the side, here on the back. So this is a brand new thing. They've basically updated the transmission and make it a lot more serviceable. Adjustable diff height adjustment. V2 rear axles. It's got 67mm dog bones. Up from, I believe, it was 65 or 66. I can't remember what the old ones were. Blah, blah, blah. New slipper. Yes, they've changed it. It looks completely different. It'll be interesting to see how that works. V2 springs. I'm also curious what that is. So they have updated. They have a full new range of springs. They've changed the rear arms to basically have more shock mounts. And there you can see the new layback stealth transmission. Not quite lay down. Definitely not stand up, but kind of a dirt new transmission that they've got. Molded spur gear cover. That was kind of one of my gripes with the B6. Did not have a spur gear cover. You got little shock tower covers, and then looks like some +1 steering block arms. That's nice. Something I did on my B6, and some new graphite long shock towers. Blah 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 blah. All right, so let's get into this. We're gonna have to open up all these seals. So just kind of doing this in real time here. You get to see what I'm seeing. I believe they oh, they've only got one seal. Oh, for some reason I thought they, oh, here we go. Yeah, I think they upped the number of seals. You used to only have one seal on the bottom. Now they're going with the full 3 seals. So, I don't know. Harder to break into, I guess, or something. All right, so there's the box. I'm going to take out everything and throw it back into the box after we've looked at everything. Bunch of bags, a bunch of parts, stickers, yada yada yada, and then finally we got the manual all the way there in the back bottom. So I guess we'll just look at that first since we're already there. Put the box to the side. So here's the manual. Looks like pretty typical Team Associated manual. A lot of graphics. Steps go 1 to 3 generally with the chassis and the front end first, and then the rear end and the transmission later on, and then finally it usually gets to the shocks, tires, all that good stuff. So manual doesn't look too much different. You know, I like Team Associated manuals. They tend to be fairly clear and fairly easy to go through. So let's go through the stuff. Okay, here is the body. I guess the body looks the same actually. I believe they actually have a new part number. They changed kind of the cut lines on the body for where you're going to cut it for the different transmissions. But overall, it looks like the same body. Wing, nice that they got a wing. Oh, this might actually be a little bit of a thicker wing. That was one of my complaints with the B6 wings and Team Associated wings in general. They tend to be kind of flimsy. Curious if that's any better. Here we go with basically the spur gear, I'm sorry, I guess the transmission cover and the slipper cover. Little shock guard there, that's new. The ball cups look a little different on this. I'll have to see what they are. At least these, I don't know if these are the new, they look like the drag link ball cups there. Interesting. Here we've got, looks like the front end, caster blocks, spindles, inserts for different degrees of caster. The new +1 steering blocks, those look like they're aluminum. Aluminum axle is very nice. Aluminum adjustments for the caster blocks. Pretty standard for the B6. Little sticker sheet, antenna tube, new battery strap. Looks like the battery strap blocks. And then some, ooh, these are some new looking wheel nuts. They look like maybe, I don't know if they're steel or aluminum, but they're definitely different. The original ones were black, different little color, so interesting. Different wheel nuts. And here's, I assume, the battery strap nuts. Moving on, we've got the, what is this? I guess the front caster, what is that? Front caster block? Rear caster? Oh, that must be the rear camber block. Huh, interesting. Bell cranks. Front caster block? I don't remember. I guess that's the front I'm sorry, that is the front caster block. It's been a while since I had my B6. I actually sold it, so I no longer have one. False deads, as usual. Here we go with the diff. I believe there's nothing different with the diff from the B6. Standard looking gear diff, I'm sorry, ball diff that's been around for years and years and years. Here we go with the arms, the side rails, little stickers for the battery strap. Looks like we've got a steel little hinge pin brace up front. Steel hinge pins, of course. And I believe the front end pretty much has not changed at all. Here's the carbon fiber. Shock tower is very, very thick. Looks like 4 or 5, at least 4 millimeters, maybe 5 millimeters thick. Moving on, these must be the new springs, V2 springs. I don't know what the difference is, so I'm gonna, oh, they look like they're painted. So typically the old V1 springs had little heat shrink tubing that you use to identify the different spring rates, and these are now painted with different colors. I think the shock bodies are the same as before. Ball cups, shock caps all look the same. So it's got the X-rings, the molded pistons, but it still uses, I guess, I'm sorry, machine piston still uses molded little, I guess, spacers for the X-rings. So sometimes you may want to consider upgrading that to molded or machined parts. Here's the new chassis. So they reduced it by a couple of millimeters, so a little bit shorter, a little bit thicker. The original B6 chassis was a little bit thin and had a tendency to bend. I know people that have bent many of those. This looks like the new updated thicker piece, or maybe it's just a little bit higher quality of aluminum, but they did shorten it a little bit, so that'll be interesting to see. Brand new set of bearings. So these are supposed to be oiled rather than greased, less friction, less drag. You know, a lot of people basically blew out all the grease on their bearings before and oiled them, which is something I did as well. Made your car a little bit faster. Ball cups look the same. Turnbuckles look the same as before. I believe they're all the same size, all 6 of them. Moving on, we've got the rear end. So the 67 millimeter dog bones. Rear plastic hubs, they look the same. Still got those, oh, hey, no. Why do they still do that? Alright, so they still got the plastic inserts on the rear hubs. That's really annoying. Definitely need to upgrade that. The inserts here look the same. So I'm not sure there's really much difference in the hubs, but the dog bones are longer. Here's more of the rear end and the lay back transmission. So this only comes with a 78 tooth spur gear. If you want to run stock, you'll probably want to run a 69 or 70. I'm sorry, there's a 78 tooth. You want to run a 72 tooth or 69 tooth. Spur gear guard, motor plate, shock tower. So it'll be interesting. Here's a little inserts for the diff, adjustable diff height. Really curious how this transmission is. It's a brand new design. And then here are the new rear arms. So they come with basically inserts that you stick here, basically to have finer adjustment of where your shocks actually mount. As you can see, I guess you could flip these over, far, near, whatever. And then here's the aluminum C and D blocks as mentioned before. So yeah, that's pretty much it. A little unboxing of the Team Associated RC10 B6.1D. I'm gonna put this thing together, get it running hopefully by Monday, and see how it drives. So anyways, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe to my channel as always, and take care. Look for more videos soon. Bye.